and she has an organization that is basically the answer to pretty much all your questions. Answers for support groups, answer for physicians, all of this. So, you know,
now,
I'm
when you go on the computer with a support group, wouldn't you rather have someone face to face in your home with you to talk, or?
Well, it kind of depends on the person. You know, I really went to a support group, but maybe everybody else wouldn't need that, want that. And again, that's sort of the thing, is you sort of think of what's going to be the best for you, what heals you the most.
How did your husband take it, Jan?
He was okay, but again, the fact that I was trying not to inconvenience people was difficult for him. Because,
Really?
well, I mean, he's thinking, okay, well, if she doesn't really want to talk about it, then I won't, because most men are certainly, you know, if you say those magic words, I don't want to talk about it, they go, phew.
You're happy. Wow.
Phew. I don't, you know,
Yeah.
I don't have to try and find, you know, that that right brain portion and actually have a conversation that is a difficult conversation. Right. So, no, I mean, he actually was the happiest when he had jobs to do that were helpful. So like when it turned out that because I was having chemo, that I did lose my hair, that was sort of my pivotal moment, is I had tried, and of course, the timing of this, in that I started chemo in November. So when I was making Christmas cookies, again, part of that was I'm trying really hard to have a normal Christmas.
Yes.
And that's what I mean by like trying to not inconvenience people. Sometimes that just is, you know, too silly to be considering.
Yes.
And that's sort of as like hair fell on cookies that I had decorated. I thought, you know, this just doesn't seem to be working.
No, it doesn't.
So, you know, I threw all those cookies in the trash, and I called my husband in, who was doing lights at the time, and I said, when you're done with that particular strip of lights, I said, would you come in, and I need your help. I said, would you shave my head? I said,
oh my goodness, Jan.
I'm done with this. It's not going to fall out and be an embarrassment. It's obviously, I'm one of those people that is going to lose their hair, and that's it.
What about your eyebrows? Some women lose their eyebrows.
No, I didn't lose my eyebrows. No, you know, I didn't. But yeah, we shaved it to, you know.
He helped you do that?
And, you know, well, I mean, this is awful, but we had a miniature schnauzer that we trimmed, so he had those trimmers.
Oh my goodness.
So basically, you know, we cut big hunks out, and then he just took the trimmers and, you know, trimmed me just
like the dog.
Just as clean as the miniature schnauzer.
Oh my goodness. You have a great attitude and a great outlook.
Well, you know, I just, like I said, I think that I really wanted to be here today to, you know, express the fact that, you know, it happens, but that you need to move on and know that you can move on.
Women need to know. Men are getting breast cancer now, haven't you?
I know, yes.
Why do men get it, I wonder? Well,
I'm not sure. Perhaps there's something environmental, because you know we've had some changes environmentally.
Yes, we have.
Of course, I am not the expert in that. This is just
neither am I.
This is just possible, you know, a possible reason. But I just feel like something has changed. That the percentage is so much greater, and that men are involved in this.
And it's happened to younger women.
Yes.
I don't remember the young girl out in L.A. She's an actress, and she found a lump in her breast. They did a mammogram. She had it. She had both breasts removed. Both breasts were removed. I can't remember her name, but after she did that and got on her feet, she's adopted a baby.
Yes.
You know the girl I'm talking about?
I do.
I can't think of her name. But she was certainly someone to be an advocate for that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, there are a lot of celebrities, you know, that basically have been
Diagnosed with breast cancer.
diagnosed
Yeah.
with breast cancer, and
Do you think
then
it's something that we eat, Jan?
I don't know, but I mean, you can't necessarily think that everybody would, would necessarily be involved with eating the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, because it happens even in different parts of the country too. So I'm just wondering, if we really have done some planet damage that is actually causing,
Now, do you take vitamins?
I was going to say that is one of the things that I started is a vitamin therapy.
E, I hope.
Yes, vitamin therapy.
C.
Basically, a whole component, because again, that was recommended. When I was actually going through chemo and radiation, I worked very hard on imaging, like they do with the sports medicine. You imagine yourself.
Yes.
And then I decided that I work well with having like a goal. So I set the goal of my driving from here in Bowie to see my grandchildren on Mother's.
You have grandchildren too?
On Mother's Day. Like it was going to be. Well, I got the diagnosis in October. So Mother's Day, of course, was going to be like May. By myself, which was a 27-hour drive. So that was going to be my empowerment.
Okay.
And plus, it would be Mother's Day and something special to celebrate with them. So basically, I had a calendar that, I just crossed off every single day, and when I was having treatment, I would try and close my eyes and picture that calendar. Then I would try and picture the drive, and I would picture, being with them and holding them and hugging them.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you ever afraid to die, Jan?
I really was. When I ended up going to see my family in Nebraska, my son and the grandchildren came from Wisconsin, where they were living at the time, and we decided my mom decided we would have a big family picture, which turned out to be very sort of special.
Right.
Because 2 years later, my dad passed away, and so we
Did he pass away from cancer, Jan?
No, actually, he had a really strange reaction to some medication once he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and just really went very fast. He'd been someone that really hadn't been ill most of his life, and so this was just a surprise. But we, after the fact, that I wanted to have everybody there and have pictures and stuff, called this my death tour.
Oh.
Like just the rock bands will have,
yes.
So this was Jan's death tour.
Yeah.
So that was sort of my acknowledgement of the fact that, that could be, the end.
It could be the end, of course.
And so,
but you were very positive.
Oh, I was very positive. I was really told by so many people, frankly, even surgeons that I didn't want to do my surgery, were saying, this is really found very quickly.
You didn't want to have the surgery, though.
Oh, I did have surgery.
Right, but you didn't want to.
The lumpectomy. No, I didn't want to have that. No.
Okay.
No, mainly because I was determined that I wanted to have a lumpectomy, and that was at that time not done, and so I'd seen it, about it. I'd read about it. I felt comfortable that I could find somebody that was going to embrace that idea.
Right.
But a lot of surgeons just didn't want to mess around with it, maybe on their comfort level or whatever.
Because I've often wondered, there's a lot of surgeons that are knife happy.
Yeah.
You see, so a woman has to be strong in order to take over her own life.
Yes. Yeah.
because I just went in for my physical, and I don't know if you've ever had a bladder infection. I've had them when I've been pregnant. But I had the feeling you have this pressure to constantly go past your urine and all. So I went in, and I had a mild bladder infection, and I never would have known that had I not gone for my yearly physical.
Sure.
So, and I'm on, oh, antibiotics. Jen, have you ever had a bladder infection?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So my doctor says, I think that's what you have. Can you go pee in this bottle? I said, I'll pee in anything you give me. Let's just find out.
Yeah.
And it was a bladder infection, which he put me on antibiotics for. Bingo, it's gone. But I wondered, where in God's world did I get a bladder infection? I'm not pregnant.
Right.
I'm not crazy in sex, so what's wrong?
Yeah.
So I think going once a year, if you can afford it, that saves your life.
Yes. And, you know, they have basically now imaging where that they can scan the entire body and, you know, look at things. Yes. So, you know, I would say that women need to be very proactive in taking care of their health. And in this case, certainly, we're reminded this month that we need to be proactive about.
You know why they chose October as Breast Cancer Month?
I honestly don't.
Okay.
Yes, I'm thinking that that there's probably, you know, a significant reason. I just don't know what that is.
Did you do a lot of arguing or fussing with your husband? That was one question I didn't want to forget to ask you.
Well, we did one silly thing because I never took driver's training, and so my dad taught me how to drive.
Good girl.
He taught me to drive stick, but I was like 16 and paying no attention, and I really didn't want to drive stick. So it was like years later that I had to drive stick on a truck that got borrowed, and I mean, I was horrible. I was, you know, not doing well with it. I you know, stalling out. So I said, you know, I really don't want to embrace the idea of getting a stick, you know, for our next car. Well, my husband was determined that he wanted to have a truck, and he wanted to have it with stick. And so we'd sort of been fussing about this, but I kind of thought, you know, that he got my point. Well, unfortunately, he decided to buy this truck with stick right before I started, right after my surgery and right before I started chemo. Now,
sneaky.
He actually thought this was the sign that there was no death sentence for me. In other words, we're just moving on. We're doing this normally. It wouldn't be a big deal. You know, I would learn how to drive stick when I was ready to. Otherwise, we had another car that was automatic transmission. I saw it, of course, because we weren't discussing the issue, as, well, he's not only moving on, he's
taking control.
He's getting a truck that only he can drive, or his next wife.
Do you know our
knows
time
how
is
to
up?
drive?
Our time is up, Jan. I just got the message.
Of course.
But I have enjoyed being with you so much.
Thanks
You're
so
a fun
much.
lady. You're a strong lady. And go get a mammogram. Go get your checkups. Take control of yourself. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Thank you, Angela.
You're a lot of fun. I have fun.